Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another live stream of Hearthstone. Today is probably a good day for YouTube to decide to not announce the live stream, if there ever is a good day, which there isn't. It's Wednesday, January 30th, and no, January 3rd. Let's not shortchange everybody an entire month. Let's see, Shaman cards and Warrior victories. I guess maybe if I just overlap, well, like ideally, if you want the most gold, I'm going to have to play 50 Shaman cards and get 4 Warrior Rogue victories, which then have to be Rogue victories because I don't want to get this 40 quest done for this Wednesday. But first things first, we do the Tavern Brawl. We've started just on the European account, as is kind of now the way I'm gonna do things. Maybe we'll get really lucky, and this will be a pretty short expansion. A really easy Tavern Brawl, which makes it a short stream today. That'd be nice. I suppose I need some extra time since I spent all of yesterday. Well, I was playing You Must Build a Boat, which is this puzzle game that is the sequel to 10 Million, and in both games, there's a point at the end where things are just way harder. So you can get to the last quest without upgrading, say, half of your attack and half of your defense and half of your magic attack pretty easily. But then the final quest makes it so extremely difficult that even when you've maxed out everything, it took me hours and hours to get that to work. Interesting. So this one's triggering combo attacks, combo things, even if you didn't combo. That's gonna work really well with the chicken. This may be the first time in all life that the chicken actually proves itself to be useful. So it's not triggering combo attacks, it's casting spells. Well, geez, I should have played Mana Addict. Should probably also mute this one. I'm tired of hearing him say amazing. Excuse me. So yeah. Well, every time a spell is cast, it gives me +2 attack during this turn. I don't see a real reason to do that right now. So yeah, I spent hours and half of the day yesterday playing You Must Build a Boat off screen to do the final episode of the pre-recorded footage there. And then, in what can only be really described as insanity, because there's an achievement for starting over and doing it a second time even harder, 2 times. Like, so you have to go through the game, I believe, at least 2 times, if not 3 times. I started playing again. And that can only be really attributed to insanity on my part. I mean, there's really nothing else I can even say. I could play a coin. I could equip this. Wouldn't even really do that much. Yeah, I don't know about this Tavern Brawl at all. So yeah, I spent most of the second half of yesterday playing You Must Build a Boat for no reason No recording going on. By not recording and it being a fast-paced puzzle tile matching game, like there certainly was some help in not recording and not having to deal with that as part of the issue. But alright, that is nice. But because every time you cast summon a minion, the spell gets cast, there's still a high risk. Yeah, there's a high chance that you're still going to lose. Let's see. Play this. And then we control it and draw 2 cards. Let's play that. You need tickets. Go ahead and kill that one. So yeah, in the meantime, while I was playing You Must Be With the Boat, I was thinking to myself, boy, do I need to go back. Do I need to start scheduling videos? And I also need to go back and do the DLC for The Evil Within. And it is certainly not unnoticed by me that my desire to play a game off screen and effectively just take a day off is coinciding with 2 things I really don't enjoy doing at all. Wish I could hire somebody else to do. Well, playing Evil Within DLC is a temporary thing that can be solved just by grinning and bearing it, putting in maybe at most 5 hours more, which I'm not sure it's even going to be that long of gameplay. The scheduling of videos is a consistent nightmare of just, you gotta do more, you gotta do more. Alright. Start with this. Play this. And we'll just, like, I'm gonna go ahead and just attack with this one and see what happens. Well, nothing happens. Interesting. Then I'll attack with this one. So that is that. Let's start going through the news. Yeah, today feels like a day where I'll probably just try and burn through the news and then go into a post show. And then I really need to really do need to schedule things. It'd be nice if I could get around to that. One of the things that is a problem right now is the fact that I used to have the Giant Bombcast on Tuesday to listen to, and then I moved over to something not video game related at all that I was streaming to be things to listen to while I was scheduling things, but I've kind of run dry. Like, arguably, yes, this week's Giant Bombcast, when they stopped arguing about the game of the year, was a lot better than the game of the year things, but they still really don't say anything, nor do they break any news. Like, they're a very poor source as a video game critic, and if the only reason I'm actually playing or listening to them is on the thought that they're telling me news that I haven't already heard, that's not really the case anymore. Not for me. And so, like, the non-video game thing has stopped streaming too. Probably, partially, at least because of the adpocalypse. So I don't really have anything to listen to. Like, I was listening to a lot of the This Week in Tech podcasts, but over the course of the past couple of years, I've really not cared about technology as much as I did several years ago. Like, when Android and Android, and because of Android, Linux seemed like they were going through some exciting changes. That was one thing, but now it's pretty boring. And there aren't daily changes happening to technology. Add 2 random spells to your hand from your opponent's class. Well, we gotta start by killing this. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna win here. Which almost is certain, come to think of it. I got that rough morning voice. I slept in. That's why I'm starting late today. I need to reset a turn back on some kind of alarm clock and try and schedule it. But there's a lot of reason for that, since in the United States they move the clock, so effectively you can never be on the same schedule, and then it gets darker in winter time in the northern hemisphere, so there's less hours of daylight. Well, this isn't working. This is not working too well at all. So, last stream we talked about kind of breaking news that apparently is not accurate. That there was a story out there that Valve was vac banning people who had catbot in their Linux username, even if they weren't logged in as that username, and like, even if that username didn't even have like a Linux account. Somebody from Valve, a Valve employee, came up here and said, no, this was just kind of BS that the creator of that cheat was putting up there to just sow distrust and create problems. That they came out directly is and said they must see you actively cheating before they will ban you. So having catbot in your name, if you are one of the very few people on Linux that have catbot on your name, that might be a metric, but it also would not cause you to be banned, according to this Valve employee. And in a real way, I should have thought of that and considered that, because that is your standard kind of smart move to do, is to have the community, try to hurt the community and sow confusion and distrust in the community when you get caught cheating by claiming you weren't cheating, or claiming people who aren't cheating are getting banned. So yeah, sometimes news comes in quickly. I am not a very good reporter at all, so there's like, I don't do the research, I don't do anything like that, so so if somebody misreports the news, or I'll just repeat it like a fool. If I was a real reporter and that was my main interest, then I would spend all day following up on leads and not playing video games. And the thing about being a critic is, you fortunately kind of don't have to, nor do you want to be a news breaking reporter. Let's go ahead and kill this guy just to get him off the field. Overwatch's next hero is an internal history, internal testing. The Year of the Dog event is coming. Let's see. I think the new hero is kind of dog-like for Overwatch. Let's see. There's a 7-minute video here of them talking about it to the screen, but no real footage to see. Let's see. Let's play this. And I guess play this. And play this. And then attack. Yeah, I guess there's nothing really more to say. Overwatch is gonna get over full with characters if they even if they introduce characters just 1 or 2 a year. At a certain point, you're gonna have as many characters as there are Hearthstone cards in a first-person shooter, where people are going to have to get used to that system and know how it works. Let's go ahead and try and kill some of these. On the other hand, maybe they'll introduce new characters and just that are in every way better than other characters, and then the old characters will get forgotten. I imagine at some point Overwatch is going to just have to have some kind of massive event where they kill off one character and he's just a banned character that people can't play anymore, if they want to continuously add things to Overwatch, which they kind of need to do. Well, that's not going to be helpful at all. That being said, I kind of wonder if Overwatch is going to last that long. Like the closest thing I think you can compare Overwatch to is something like Team Fortress 2, and Team Fortress 2 has never really added characters to my knowledge. It just seems to slowly work its way down slight improvements that let's discover a spell. Let's see. Gain 10 mana, discard your entire hand. I'll take this spell. That seems like that'd be a really nice one to have. Resummoning this guy. Yeah, at a certain point it is really just gonna probably come down to on Overwatch them slightly tweaking things and just saying this is the game, we're gonna start working on an Overwatch 2 or season 2 of Overwatch in which the old characters are just gonna be replaced with things that are effectively exactly the same as the current characters but have different skins and look differently, and or there's just going to be a major rebalancing. I'll go and play this. Prince of Darkness comes on the stream, says nice, an English stream. I've heard people complain about that, like that there seems to be some high numbers of people not speaking English that stream, I guess, particularly on YouTube. Like, I don't know what to really say about it other than that. That's probably a sad indication either for YouTube Hearthstone streamers, or it's a sad indication for Hearthstone players in general. I'm playing on the European account, and when I play on the Asian account, they both accounts seem as populated as the America's account. I do notice that the Asians in particular seem to not want you to spectate them, so whenever you get a watch and learn on the Asian accounts, I've noticed that it gets a lot more difficult to randomly spectate even people that will accept being friends with you, which they're a little more reticent to accept random friend requests also. Let's just kill that one. And play this. Let's go ahead and attack here and attack. Prince of Darkness says, I searched Hearthstone Live and it was full of non-English streamers. Yep. And I could never get my head around when is the right time to stream. Like, it's 5:47 US Central Time. So, if I'm really late if I'm going for like a 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon after school would happen for high school kids, and I imagine college kids too, although college classes and having night classes is more realistic, or more likely. It would be right about when a lot of people are getting off work if they work a 9-to-5 job in the United States. I don't know how close a YouTube streamer should follow the prime time hours of 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. to when primetime TV happens. That is the closest thing I can compare my streams to, is that it is probably competition to what's on TV, but it's probably not good enough, let's just be honest, to hold somebody's attention. And there's a shrinking number of people that actually watch TV when it originally airs and don't watch it either on Netflix or Hulu or on a DVR later to skip commercials. Prince of Darkness says, I started playing Hearthstone today. Any tips and advice? Well, the thing I say about new Hearthstone players is there's frankly about a week of BS you have to go through before you can really get into Hearthstone. At least last time I did it. There is a trick, however. After you do the initial 10 solo player things, and they let you actually play like ranked play with random people, if you friend somebody, they'll ask you to beat each one of the characters in single player mode and before you can play them. So after you do the initial tutorial, you'll only have the mage to play as, and you'll have to use the mage to beat the 8 other characters. If you friend somebody immediately there and then challenge that person and have them help you, challenge that person to a standard gameplay, a friendly challenge, and then they just immediately concede by clicking over here, the other person does, it will count as defeating the other character. So you can use that as a trick to unlock the characters and get you a little bit further to it. Unfortunately, then your next level of things is to try to get all 9 of the hero classes up to level 10, so you have all of the basic cards unlocked. And then you have to get at least 1 class up to rank 20 so you can do the Tavern Brawls, which is really stupid because the Tavern Brawls give you a classic pack like every time there is one, and classic packs are what you desperately need as a new player so that you can get the cards that are classic cards that will probably never be banned and probably will never be changed. And you really want to focus on classic cards before you do anything else. If you buy Whisper of the Old God card packs, those cards are about to get banned and put in wild play only, which is not helpful for a new player. Wild play, for the most part, should only be for people who have been playing the game since the beginning. And even at that, most people don't. A lot of people who have been playing from the beginning don't like to play wild play. And so they clutter up standard play and make it more difficult and make it more crazy, trying to work your way up to a ranked ladder. I would say don't, in my experience, don't even bother trying to get anything above rank 20. The 150 plus games that you're going to have to really focus on and play to get up ranked is not worth your time. You're gonna find yourself just constantly not having the cards, and that the real solution to a new Hearthstone player, in this sucks and I wouldn't recommend doing it, is to honestly just buy like 400 classic packs, a ridiculous amount. Buy that welcome bundle, which, like, I don't recommend any of this, but if you want to actually compete and have the cards that everybody else have been spending at least 3 years I've been playing this game, and I still don't have all the cards. but I also haven't put any money in it. There are numbers out there. When a new expansion comes out, I would save up your gold that you earn through daily quests for the next expansion that will happen in a few months. But when there is a new expansion, it's somewhere close to 200 to 400 packs that you need to get all the cards on an expansion, which is not a good investment right now until you have all the classic cards. I personally don't think there's anything of value at all in playing the what was I gonna say? Well, there's really no value in playing the solo hardcore heroic mode. You should probably try and purchase the solo adventures while they're still available, because there's cards in them that are pretty good. One Night in Karazhan, Nixramas, if that's still available for purchase. Let's see. Yeah, those are high topics. Yeah. Do the daily quests, log in every day, and trade out, click the X to trade out a daily quest into a higher value daily quest, and then struggle through them. There's a lot of struggling. Have friends. Like, if you've got nobody else to friend, you can certainly friend me. It's RYDO number 1423. And whatever account you're on, I have an account because I'm a YouTuber. So if you're on the Asian account, if you're on the European account or the Americas account, it's all the same number. Although it is different accounts with different cards, which is crazy. But yes, the first major struggle is unlock Tavern Brawls, get those extra packs, and do the daily quests. Daily quests are very important to get your gold, and gold is what's going to help you buy packs when there's a new expansion. On average, just doing the daily quests, I can open at least 15 packs of cards, which gives me about 250 cards, but there's a lot of duplicates there. I'm still experimenting with it, but it really feels like if you get a gold version of a card, you should probably turn that into dust, and then use that dust to create a bunch of common cards that you're missing. If you go into the collection manager and type in the phrase missing, it'll show you all the cards you're missing. You can sort that to classic cards only, and then make all the and fill in your collection a little quicker. Also, if you get a legendary card that you don't particularly want to play, that is probably a great experience to turn that into dust and buy a bunch of your missing classic cards and try to boost it. My European and Asian accounts are only 4 or 5 months old, and there's already been a major difference, I feel, in my European account, which I am using as a test bed to fiddle with. So I've dissolved legendaries and created common cards, lots and lots of common cards, by dissolving and selling one legendary, where my Asian account, I have done nothing. It's my control account in the scientific experiment. And then my America's account is kind of not a fair comparison, because I've been playing that one for three years and it has way more cards, but it still doesn't have a complete collection, and it most definitely doesn't have a complete gold collection. And I don't care about the gold. I think it's stupid that there are gold versions of the cards. There is definitely a realization to be made that the Activision Blizzard, which is kind of a greedy company, is pretty bad. Like they are simply greedy. There's really no other way to say it. They are totally greedy, and they will do things to try and make you spend money. And the only people that are really going to succeed at this are the people that spend money. When you see somebody like Kriparian, and he's got entire accounts that have all the cards, he may have all the cards in gold. The way he does that is he's got people donating him Amazon coins to his account, and that probably only works if you're a very popular YouTuber, and then he uses these Amazon coins to buy card packs on his phone, and then it's like somehow cheaper. I'm not 100% sure how the system works, but yeah, you have to kind of be rich. You kind of have to be, or very lucky. People can now gift you card packs, and that's great. In general, I've said a lot of things about Hearthstone, and not all of it sounds great. Frankly, it has a terrible onboarding system. Ideally, I would say that like for the first month of playing, Hearthstone should just give new players all the classic cards. Or, you know what, honestly, they should just give all the players all the classic cards by default anyways. Just, there's enough better cards in the expansions that wouldn't be a real issue. So, I don't think I've ever even seen that spell. Interesting. Yeah, every now and then, even years later, there seems to be new things. Yeah. Have friends, do the daily quest, don't take it too seriously. Don't get obsessive crazy with playing Hearthstone. It's not that good of a game to get into like that. I mean, there's a level certainly where it's worth playing, but in all honesty, if people didn't love my live stream so much, I would stop playing Hearthstone as much as I do. But the daily quests really do force you to play once every 3 days. And then because I started streaming, I set my streaming schedule as Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So now I'm playing it Hearthstone ever slightly so more often per month. Let's see if this works.
Here we go.
There are several other collectible card games coming out this year that, like, I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but it just depends on where the fans want me to go. Yeah, there's not too much more I can even say about it. And it's really bad advice to say spend a bunch of money on something you're not certain about right at the beginning, but perhaps the better advice to new Hearthstone players would be play the game and struggle with it for 4 to 6 months before you spend any money on it. And if you're still playing it in 4 to 6 months, then at that point you can start spending some money on it. Then once you're certain that you're not going to waste that money. As far as card decks and like what kind of things, which I imagine that's what he was asking, and I've gone into kind of a rant about all the other parts of Hearthstone. As far as actual cards and playing, like you're gonna be so set on basic cards that it's not even going to matter. So, like, any deck, even starting to think about building decks, it took me probably 3 or 4 months before I started deleting the default decks and start building something. And I build all my decks around getting daily quests done, which is probably what you should do. So you'll get a daily quest that says play Warlock cards. You'll make a deck that's just full of Warlock cards, even if they're not that great. But if you come over here and sort by classic, go into crafting mode, which they were in crafting mode, and just type in missing. Then hit enter. This is where you should start. You should make neutral cards that are missing, and you should look for the white common cards. I don't think I have any white common cards left except for over here. So like this, a white gem common card is only going to cost you 40 dust to create. If you find a legendary that you don't want, you'll get 1600 dust for doing that. It seems crazy, it probably is crazy, but having 2 light spawns in your deck when you're trying to make a good priest deck that might actually win on ranked play is going to help you probably more in the early game. You'll want to play cards that have effects. Like if you run into any cards that are just blank, you probably shouldn't play them because there's no real reason to. Learning all these cards by picture and knowing what they're doing is kind of a major issue in games. This expansion, Whisper of the Old Gods, Karazhan, Gadgetzan, Unguru, Frozen Throne, and Kobolds, like all of these are about to become wild sets like these, and as a new player, all of the wild set cards, you just not pay any attention to it. Kobolds might stay around a little bit longer, but otherwise standard cards of classic. Basic cards you can't craft, so that's why when you click the basic things you have to then click uncraftable cards, and I'm not missing any because you just get those as you reach rank 20. So once a day you can click an X on daily quests and trade these out. If it's 60 gold or higher, there's a few 80 golds and there's like 100 gold. You should keep it, but if it's 40 or 50 gold, you should trade it out. And you should come back every 3 days to play. And if you wait every 3 days, you can have things that overlap. See, for instance, this needs 3 victories with Warrior, this needs 5 victories with Warrior. If I go and play Warrior, I would get both of those done, but I actually don't want to do that because then that would finish off this daily quest before I'm willing to do that. I'd rather trade that daily quest. Let's see, yeah. In this shop, this best value $5 welcome bundle is not terrible. 10 classic packs for $5 is about the same price. You can come over here and you can double click this and you can buy as many as 50 packs for 5,000 dust of classic cards. That's pretty much all you should focus on. There's really no reason to buy Old God packs or Mean Streets of Gadgetzan or Knights of Frozen Thrones packs. The solo adventure that you can buy right now is One Night in Karazhan. I'd recommend buying that with gold as soon as you can. The other solo adventures, that there have been some, already gone. And these heroes can only be bought with money, and they are really stupid, so I wouldn't say do that. So, for this account, I only have Karazhan and Frozen Throne. There were several other ones. Well, yeah. I think that's probably as good of a place as any, as I've gone on kind of a rant. Here's a great example for new players. I've gone 45 minutes so far, and I failed to accomplish even the Tavern Brawl. Part of that is because I'm a YouTube streamer and I'm talking and not paying attention. Part of that is because this game is just incredibly random and boring. I've been talking with other other fans on my stream, and saying, man, it would be nice if these were just daily login quests. If they didn't force you to play the game, because the game itself is inherently too long and boring, and that's why when the new solo adventure, which is really fun to play, the Kobolds and Catacombs dungeon runs, those runs start with defeating an enemy with only 10 health, and you could do it in 5 turns, and it is so much better a gameplay experience than the main game. So they've now painted themselves in this corner where I kind of don't want to play ranked play. I kind of don't want to play anything but the solo adventures. But the solo adventures don't count towards daily quests unless it's a very special daily quest. Stay tuned if you're watching live. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out and tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. If you want a friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. Following me on those is a nice backup for when YouTube forgets to tell people that I'm streaming live, which they do fairly often. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.